All right, it's been a little while since we posted a video about the blue car, right there. So sorry about that. It's been a crazy couple weeks. I got it tore apart and got it winterized and ready to go. And then we got a couple videos ago, backtrack a second, sorry. In the beginning of it, you see a little quick clip, geez, I can't talk today, of a magazine article with the Mustang in it. So we got selected to be a featured vehicle at the PRI magazine, and there was a possibility of us getting to go to the PRI show with the car. Basically, we ended up getting selected, but we didn't find out until a week and a half before the show. So I had to hustle and finish up doing a few things that I had torn off the car, put the wheels and tires back on it, you know, good fuel back in it, all that kind of stuff, so we could drive it around down in Indianapolis for the PRI show. So real quick, we got I moved the O2 sensor to here, and I moved the pre-intercooler pressure sensor to here. Now that used to be off the wastegate thing. If you watched other videos about the data log, you see the signal was a little sporadic. I'm hoping having this larger volume of air will eliminate some of the pulses I was seeing in that line before, because it was right off the compressor cover, and I think that it was actually teed off of the bottom of the wastegate, and I think that the wastegate moving was giving me an incorrect reading on that. Now we were basically looking at the average of the reading, which is good enough for the data collection we were using it for, but it'd be nice to have just a cleaner signal there. The reason I moved this is on 85, the fuel makes so much water because it's an alcohol-based fuel, right? The water was setting in the bottom of the downpipe, and when we fire the car up and run it up, it'd like cover the whole car, the windshield, the roof, the whole 9 yards with freaking water. It was crazy. It was kind of obnoxious. I've had to edit a few of the videos like beyond the burnout point because literally I had to turn the wipers on and clean the water off the car. So the hood exit functions great from a creating frontal downforce in a low pressure hood exit, you know, exhaust area. It does a very good job at that side of things, but it was making a big mess. I put a 16th hole in the bottom of this to drain some water out of it during the warm-up procedures when it makes the most moisture. Once it's warm, it doesn't create much. So for cruising around in the pits and whatever, try to keep water out of it. Anyway, so what that ended up happening then is I put the O2 sensor, I had a bung here, obviously a plugged bung, and I would lose a sensor relatively fast. I moved it here thinking that that would be more out of the way, and I didn't put too much thought in it clearly because I should have just put it here initially where the O2 sensor is on a downward angle so the water won't settle in it, because it killed this sensor too. Now this one lasted a lot longer than the other location, but again, I should have just thought about it up front and put that thing here. Now the reason that these two bungs were here originally was when it was still stock ECU. I was running both O2 sensors. Now on the Haltech, obviously I only need to run the one because it is a single charger deal. But yeah, so anyway, I've got a couple videos, couple pictures here from PRI show. Nothing serious. I didn't like walk around with the camera and look at things, but we had a great time. Hung out with the Haltech guys a bit, so shout out to those guys. That was cool. They invited us to dinner with them and gave us a ride and whatever, so that was a good deal, hanging out with those guys, and saw a bunch of customers, bunch of buddies, so hopefully you got a chance to check it out at the show. Hi, I'm Tyler Hassing with Force Engineering. This is my 2013 Ford Mustang. It's the fastest stock engine Gen 1 Coyote in the world currently with an 859 at 155 miles an hour. So yeah, I don't have much on the PRI show, like I said, but we had a good time. We were thankful, fortunate for the opportunity to bring the car there. That was a really cool deal for us. Kind of a bucket list thing if you've gone to the show a lot. To have a car there is just something you kind of always want to do. We've done that. It's cool. I don't think we'll do it again in the featured vehicle section. I mean, that said, if we got invited, we probably would. But it was a bit of a hassle getting the car just sorted out where to put it, that kind of thing. Hopefully, we can get invited to put the car in somebody's actual manufacturing booth next year. That would be cool. Manufacturer or vendor or whatever. But we'll see. Long way off from that. But in other news, got a couple cool things to talk about here. One of them is this guy. Check that out. Move my Red Bull can. So this is a forced induction. It is a 94 millimeter compressor wheel. It's a 104 millimeter turbine. T6 132. So what we have on the car now, the reason that's the biggest S400 series, Borg-Warner S400 series charger that anybody makes currently. And it's FIS's Aero. It's their, I believe, Gen 3 turbine wheel, or their G3, I think they call their turbine wheel. I don't know if it's the third generation or not, I guess. And then it's their latest and greatest race cover. So some improved Aero, greatly improved on the turbine side from what I've seen talking to other people. The reason I did that is if you backtrack a bit, you'll know I redesigned the intake manifold, trying to straighten up the power curve. We added like double the plenum volume, made little to no difference on the shape of the power curve or even the VE map in the Haltech. So what I determined, or what I was kind of leaning towards, was we were just starting to run into a drive pressure problem. Even at 15 pounds, so low boost level, at peak power, it was 1 pound less back pressure than it was manifold pressure. At peak RPM, it was 4 pounds more back pressure than it was manifold pressure. As the boost went up, that just obviously just got crazier. The last attempted pass we made on 26 pounds, it was 26 pounds of boost. It was 34 or 35 pounds of back pressure. So we're pretty much over 1-to-1, and I know from talking to other people that had ran this charger, so the charger that's on the car currently is another forced induction piece, but it's their older Aero on the compressor side, and it's a Borg-Warner 96 millimeter turbine wheel. It's still a T6 132 AR, so it's a decently big housing on the outside, but the turbine wheels, all the Aero and the turbine wheel is a huge difference. So hopefully moving to the 94 104 is going to drop the back pressure for a gift of manifold pressure, and that charger is just more efficient. So the setup should just move more air even at the same manifold pressure. The goal that I'm hoping to see is to straighten that power curve out. I'm still not sure if we're just running into a valve spring issue, because it's, you know, stock valve spring thing, obviously, right? So it could be running in the valve float. That said, tracking the camshaft position, I'm hoping I'm gonna see some sort of a cam timing error or problem in that when we run in the valve float. I haven't seen that yet. So I don't really know if we're running into a spring problem yet, or if it was a back pressure problem. But knowing that we're about maxed out on the 80, it made sense to just buy the 94. They had a Black Friday sale deal. I'm a dealer through them. So we picked that up from Jose there at FIS. And looking forward to getting that on there and seeing some numbers. All right, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the car and what our plans for are moving forward. Obviously, I talked about our other plans earlier on with as far as deleting the ABS. Want to do some aero work to the car, just make like an air dam, some side skirt extensions, got some neat ideas there. We're going to put a wing and a chute on it over the winter. And I'm building an engine for it. Actually going to put an aluminum rod, it's a BME rotted, mainly piston, sleeved Gen 1 Coyote block in this thing. I haven't decided if I'm going to run a factory camshaft yet, but I'm doing like a PAC 1217X spring. Mainly they got like a beadlock style valve we're going to put in it. Some trick stuff, MMR timing components. Some of that stuff's starting to roll in, so I'm going to show you guys that stuff as it shows up. It's at work right now. Unfortunately, I can't add that to this video. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming, so subscribe to the channel, follow along with this thing. Gonna be cool. Looking to reset our stock engine record with the 94 on it come springtime, which I think that'll be relatively easy. Honestly, I feel like we could go faster with the 80 mil. I know we could go faster with the 80 mil, but putting the 94 on is just gonna make it that much more forgiving. And hopefully the old stock Coyote there will live through a pass of that, right? Hoping we can do an 830 with the car. We've been an 859, but anyway, we'll see. So yeah, subscribe to the channel and follow along with us.